Scary Stories in the Dark is the new horror movie that's out right now that is directed by Andre Overdahl, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and written by Guillermo del Toro. It is the movie adaptation of the novel with the same name, actually, three novels. And it focuses on these kids on Halloween night who go into this haunted house and find this book that starts writing itself and creates chaos and disaster for them. And right off the bat, I just want to say that I was pretty disappointed in this movie, mainly because I was very much looking forward to it because I read the books when I was younger, and the books are pretty terrifying, even for a kid. I was about 8 and 9 years old when I read them. It's still appropriate for that age, but this is a little bit darker than Goosebumps, especially the illustrations in this picture. They are just very dark and gritty, and that this right here will traumatize a kid. And the reason why I was so disappointed with it is because the direction they went in with it, and it's just not what I was looking for with it. They basically went in a direction to where if you've never seen a horror movie before, it seems like it was geared towards maybe 10 and 11-year-olds or 12-year-olds who are trying to get into horror movies and have never seen one. This is a good starter one because although there are some pretty creepy moments, it just felt like they were holding back a little bit. And then again, it is PG-13, but with PG-13 movies, you can do a lot with it. I know everyone bags on a movie when it's PG-13, but there's a lot of things you can still do that are scary. Look at Insidious, perfect example. The very first one, at least. Second one was pretty good too. I thought it was a little less creepy, but the first Insidious, I thought knocked it out of the park. The scares were done right. It was dark. I think anybody could be scared by that movie, no matter what the rating is. But this movie feels like it's more family friendly. And to be honest, there were moments where I forgot this was a PG-13 movie just because it felt so family oriented. But then when it got to the scares, I'm like, wow, okay, that's a little dark. I could see a 12-year-old being very scared by this. So I guess the direction they were trying to go with is that, hey, all these kids read these books when we came out with them. These books are for kids on a little bit on the older side, not very young kids like Goosebumps. And I think they're trying to do that with this movie. Like, okay, well, we did that with the books. Now let's come out the movie for kids of this generation. I just kind of wished that, this movie was for the people that grew up on these books. And these books are way before my time. These books came out probably 10 years before I was born. But I love the books. They were so creepy. They're good campfire stories. And I'm not going to get into spoilers and be very descriptive on what happens, but they do take about 5 stories and they honestly only spend like 2 minutes on each of them, which was a little disappointing for me because I couldn't wait to see some of these creepy stories be put on the big screen. And to be honest, the story of this movie is what I didn't care for. I didn't really care about any character. Most of this movie is exposition, and it just has all these characters, all these kids with barely any character development, and doesn't really give me a reason to care about any of them. And it just felt like I've seen this movie before. If you have seen Super 8, The Goonies, Stranger Things, and especially It, you've seen Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the movie. Because it's literally a watered down version of it. But I'm not going to sit here and say this was the worst movie. It's just not the movie I was hoping for that they were going to do with this. I honestly would have been fine if there was no story with this movie and the movie was literally just the stories. Like, okay, we're going to spend 15 minutes on this story. Then we're going to go to a different story. Kind of like like if Black Mirror was a movie or if the Twilight Zone did another movie, but they did it on the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark stories. But the positive side, what they do with the stories from the book, they did do them justice, especially one, I'm just going to say it, the Red Room. When you get to a part and they reference the Red Room, you're in for some good stuff. But you know, if you're looking just for some family fun movie that you could sit down on Halloween night and watch, then you'll enjoy this movie. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not what I was hoping for, and I didn't like a majority of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. And, like I said, if you're looking for a good popcorn flick and some little creepy moments here and there with a lot of funny moments, there are a lot of funny moments with these characters, and you like horror movies of kids going on a chaotic adventure like It or Stranger Things, then you're going to love this movie. But if you grew up on these books like I did and you're expecting to be terrified as you were as a kid, then you're not going to get that because this movie isn't as dark as I was hoping for. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.